God is a God of authority. He always works through authority. Authority is good, not bad. Yes, there's been some abuses. Yes, there have been authority figures to take advantage and all that. However, generally speaking, authority is good. God has placed authority in all of our lives to form us, to mold us, and to make us into the people that He desires us to be. So where are you in this journey? You know, the Bible is full of people that struggled with authority issues, and that's something that I can identify with because I struggle with authority issues, and it's part of our fallenness. It's part of our human condition. But over in the Old Testament, there was a guy named Saul. Saul was like the toast of the town. Saul was the king of Israel, which meant he managed everything politically and financially and militarily. He was like the guy. He was 6'6", most scholars believe, long flowing black hair. He had such amazing potential. Yet, we're going to find out that Saul walked away from authority. And every time I've walked away from authority, I paid the price. And if you think about your life, so have you. This first instance of Saul walking away is an instance I call the whiplash at Michmash. Saul was at Michmash. Have you ever felt like you're sinking in Michmash? He was surrounded by the Philistines. He was so close to them, he could smell their cologne. It was a tough situation. Now remember, King Saul was under the authority of God's man, Samuel. So Samuel was under the authority of God. Saul was under the authority of Samuel. Before Saul could engage in military activity, he had to wait until Samuel showed up, made sacrifices to God. Then after Samuel made sacrifices to God, then Saul could engage and fight. You understand that? So that was the authority. That was the system. That was the flow. Saul waited and waited and waited. On the seventh day, he became antsy. He was like, man, I've got to do something. People are bolting. Saul went after the Philistines. That's what he did. Saul decided to take authority into his own hands. He did the sacrifices himself, and then he went after the Philistines. And it doesn't seem like a big deal. You know, it's like, okay, Saul, you're the king. At least you're honoring God. I mean, Samuel was late. Come on, man. It's all right. You know, but he was disobeying God. Time and time again, he knew that God said, don't do that, yet he did that. So right after he was engaging the Philistines, right after he'd done the sacrificial systems thing, guess who showed up? Samuel. And Samuel walked up to Saul in 1 Samuel 13, verses 11 and 12. I love what he says. What have you done? Asked Samuel. Saul replied, well, when I saw that the men were scattering and that you did not come at the set time and that the Philistines were assembling at Michmash, I thought, now the Philistines will come down against me at Gilgal, and I've not sought the Lord's favor. Okay. So I felt compelled to offer the burnt offering. excuses. I make them all the time. Whenever I have this stride of pride away from authority, whenever I go Saul, what do? I saw, I hope you saw that. I thought, I hope you thought about that. I felt, I hope you're feeling me. Every time we walk away from authority, I saw, I thought, I felt. Interesting, isn't it? You're in a situation and you know you need to stay under this authority, but you say, I saw, I thought, I felt. And this is a microcosm of the life of Saul. Saul struggled with authority issues. Saul's life is about pulling a Purnell. But there's another instance. Yeah, you've got the whiplash at Michmash. Then you have the bite of the Amalekites. So Saul was in power for like 30 years. It didn't just happen like that. Saul finds himself in another situation with the Amalekites. The Amalekites were people that were abusive to God's people. And God simply said, and I love to do this every time I talk about the Amalekites. Here's what God said. God said, Saul, I want you to do this. Wipe out. If you were over 50, you got that. Kids, just Google that. All right? The Safaris did that. God told him, wipe out the Amalekites. They were that evil. Obliterate them. Saul was like, all right. So Saul did it. Almost. Because 95% obedience is still lacking, You're still 5% short. Hey, spouses, go home this afternoon and say, I've been 95% faithful to you. See how that works out. Obedience is the key to authority. Obedience. I'm free to obey God's authority. I have a free will. I'm always in His purpose. I'm always seeing from His perspective. And God is always perfecting me when I stay under the authority of God. Because when I'm under the authority of God, then I'll discover what should be under me. Yet most people live their lives like Saul, never realizing their potential, never understanding what should be beneath them.